Srini is part of Yatra Media, um, and they have created this wonderful short film. Um, oh, Srini's here. He can tell us himself. Um, oh, hi, Srini.
Oh, Vanakkam.
How
How
are
are
you?
you? Very fine, very fine.
Good. I'm well, thank you. Um, I was slowly, very slowly starting to explain this upcoming year project and our upcoming event with you this weekend, but I think you'll do a much better job of
Oh,
explaining everything.
thank you, thank you.
So you're in Auroville tonight, is that right?
Yes, I'm from
Okay.
Auroville. Yes.
Yeah. What time is it there?
Now exactly 5 past 6 in the
So it's
morning,
very,
early morning.
very early. Yeah, thank you for joining us so early.
Thank you. It's great pleasure. Great pleasure.
Um,
Yeah.
so would you mind just introducing yourself maybe and um, Aurelio as well, just a little brief description before we dive in?
Pardon?
Would you mind just introducing yourself and maybe Aurelio as well? Okay.
Sure, sure. My name is Yatra Srinivasan. I was born in Quilapalayam, next to Auroville. Yes, I'm basically from a family from a farmer, and my father was working in Auroville handmade paper unit. Before he was working in Auroville, Asham handmade paper. And yes, my studies, I studied in Pondicherry and in Auroville. I learned many things, and yes, and Aurelio is my family friend since more than 25 years. We know each other, and he was supporting our art program for Yatra, painting and dance and music and all. I studied film direction in Chennai, and basically I'm a theater director and film director. I used to act and write scripts. And yeah, we have our arts activities to preserve our traditional arts in Auroville bioregion. We work in the Auroville bioregion in the villages to perform our social and health theater and screening our short films for the development of the community in bioregion, Auroville bioregion. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds really wonderful. You're doing a lot of really cool projects I saw too.
Yes, yes, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even with Aurelio, I think 15 to 17 years back, we made a film called Yatra. Children travel in 5 lands. So that was my first project with Aurelio. We experienced making a documentary, and which was well received. That film and got a experimental film award in Auroville Film Festival in
Oh, wow.
2017. Yes. Yeah, yeah,
That's incredible. Um,
yes.
so specifically working with, speaking about the project Iniyan, you would mention Yatra is really about um, bringing traditional Tamil culture to life and preserving it. Um, so Iniyan is based off of the legend written by um, I was just reading the comments. Sorry, there might be an issue with sound. Okay, looks like we're okay. Um, Based off the legend, can you say more about how you and Aurelio heard about Ruud Lohman's legend and what about it made you want to bring this written story to film, to life?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, basically, Iniyan, and it was written by Ruud Lohman, our pioneer Aurovillian. This story Aurelio found, like Aurelio was traveling to Japan, and he was telling about it when he shared his views about Iniyan. Then that moment he found this book written by Ruud Lohman, and he was so inspired about Indian story. And then at one fine evening, he just called me and Ashwini, we had 15 years back, 17 years back, we made one film. Now there's a call for me to make a film about Iniyan. Just come and we share. And then I went to Swaram, and yeah, he was just sharing his experience. It was so amazing. So when earlier stage before he come to Auroville, while he was traveling all over the world, and in one place he found this Ruud Lohman's book, and he read this Iniyan story. That particular moment, Aurelio found it's very interesting. Oh, come on, about Tamil culture, about future, about the Auroville, the city of the soul of the city. I mean, he was read all interesting things written by Ruud Lohman. And when he was narrating the story about Iniyan, the legend, and I got also so inspired because even I am a Tamil guy. In the book, what he has written, small new researched things about Tamil culture, about Auroville, about human unity, consciousness, and Lemuria. So it was so interesting for me when he was narrating that his story. Then he gave me a copy of that story. Then I have gone through it. So I was so inspired. Then I told Aurelio, it's interesting story. Definitely we'll go for making this movie.
Wow. Yeah, that's
It's,
pretty incredible. The way you found the legend and connected and how long you two have known each other and how it brought you
yes,
together again. Yeah, that's so
yes,
cool.
yes.
How closely did you follow the original legend written by Ruud Lohman when you were translating it to film? Did you is it very different or is it pretty much the same?
Yes. The story is a very interesting story, and he has done very deep about Tamil culture, the caste system in the village, the Dravida, Adi Dravida, and about formation of Auroville, and the connection of Lemuria and the bridge between the Lemuria and Auroville. So the story was so deep and nice. But in our film, we have taken the core, the essence, the main line of Iniyan, and Aurelio were discussing about the symbolic shots, and we built up the storyline. We took the Iniyan, the main lead character, and the symbolic shots of the nature, the old stones, the rock, and the new feet, the young feet of the children. So a lot of symbolic shots in a way of fiction. We formed the story, but we kept the main essence of his line in the short story. And we found his own friend, his interesting person, Crete. He lives in Gaia's garden in Auroville. So he also inspired on Ruud Lohman's book, and he came to Auroville and joined. So
Mm,
he's a Dutch person from Holland, and somehow it's connected. So in the story, in many places, we kept his story, his lines, the captions, read by Crete in his accent in English. So somehow we connected the story, but we built up a symbolic shots. But the main core essence is there in the
mm,
film.
yeah,
Yes.
that's brilliant. This essence that you're speaking of, is that sort of this, is it Auroville's essence as well, would you say?
Which one?
The essence of the film of Iniyan, do you
Yes.
think that that is Auroville's essence as well, or similar
Yes,
to?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he's telling at one point, Lemuria is a golden bridge. He thinks that the continent south, which was sunk in the Indian Ocean, that continent was the Tamil people lived together, and it was this sign of human unity, and that connects to Auroville, and he thinks that the golden bridge between Lemuria and Auroville, and he talk about Matru Mandir and the how the symbol of consciousness, and then it's for the meditation for the old people, and it connects very much to Auroville.
Mm,
So yeah, that essence we kept it. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I know that there's a pretty cool connection between you and the lead actor. Can you say more about who he is to you and how you cast that role?
Yes, when we finalized the story, and we have been, myself and Aurelio were looking for a lead actor. So I was taking some pictures of some characters in the bioregion in Auroville, and we have been discussing, okay, he could be fit in this character like that. At one point of time, Aurelio told, even we want a better character. Srini Iniyan is just a wise man, and he's a knowledgeable person in the character, and he talks about culture, he talks about future, past, and he connects. So it's very important roles. We have been looking at one point of time. Okay, I got a picture of a person, and then I went to Swaram and I called Aurelio. There is a picture. You might be liking him. Just watch. What I just showed the picture, and he says, as soon as the first look, he says, yes, he's the perfect person. I feel his face, charisma, the beard, and the looking is Indian. He said. Then only I told that particular character, Aurelio, is my dad, my father. Come on. Yes. Then I told him, and then he's immediately said that, okay, please, I would like to meet your father. Then I took my father, and we had a discussion. Then he come to know, even I came to know that my father has a nice connection between Sri Mother, Auroville, in his younger age. Because my father was working in handmade paper unit in Auroville, and he met few times Mother Darshan in Pondicherry.
Wow.
And my father is a spiritual person, and he worked in Auroville handmade paper unit when they switched over in Auroville. And our family gave lands to Auroville for the Auroville development. And yeah, even my father was there when their inauguration was happening in 1968, and Mathur Mandir was constructed in that space. So yeah, still my father used to read Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Sri Aramindo's writing in translated in Tamil, and Sri Mother's books. Is somehow connected in that. And he plays street plays, village street plays on Mahabharata in the village. Somehow he was telling all these experiences, and Aurelio was listening all these things, and he asked him, "Do you know about Lemuria?" Then my father says, "Yes, yes, Lemuria. There was a continent in South India. It was sunk in Indian Ocean." So all these things he was sharing, and myself and Aurelio was really excited. Come on.
Yeah.
In the same Iniyan was talking about all ancient Tamil culture and future, past and future, and about Auroville and the international township and human unity, symbol of human unity. So all these things he was talking about more connected to Auroville, and we are very happy. Okay, we take him as a lead role, and then he come to the project, and he was so nice, and it was my great pleasure and very proud that he played that lead role. During the shooting, we had very fun. At the same time, he was as a street play player, but very difficult for him in front of the camera, shot by shot, acting and certain things. But he was so good, and Aurelio was very happy, and even whole film team was very happy because it was nature, and his face and his gesture, his body language is really related to the what Ruud Lohman written in the story of Iniyan, the characterization we found through him. Yeah.
It sounds like your dad could be Iniyan. He could be the legend.
Yeah, I was so inspired about him, and he's so very good person in this spiritual context, and very supportive to Auroville, and my family, myself, and bridge between the village and Auroville always.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the majority of the film was shot in Auroville, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Was that important to you to sort of like capture that essence of Auroville and actually shoot it there within the town?
Yes, yes. In the story, Ruud Lohman in Iniyan, he was talking about a neighboring village, and he traveled in the story and talking about Ruud Lohman. He's really great scholar. He's a writer and he knows about culture, and he supported many Tamil Orovillians, and he traveled and he explored the culture. He's talk about the bioregion area, Auroville, and the environment and all. So we feel the location should be in Auroville, and then we found. Of course, Auroville is very beautiful nature place. So whatever location we need in the film is there, just within in Auroville, like in archaeological place where we found the rocks. So we show the ancient rock is found from the same ground, and the children was just stepping on and experiencing the rock, and the forest, the green belt area. Before it was barren land, and now it's been forest. So the Iniyan was taking the children on into the forest, and there was a red canyon in the beginning of Auroville. All rain water just flow into canyon, and it goes to the Bay of Bengal in the sea. It mixes with red color on the water. So, and Mathur Mandir, of course, the garden. So I feel as a documentation about Auroville, about Mathur Mandir, about the legend Iniyan, it should be around Auroville. So it gives the truthfulness and authentic picturization to become a nice document in future generation, this film. So
Yeah.
we thought we all just documented, filmed around in and around Auroville. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
very important. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We made that. We made that. And one location with a pond. It just 10 to 12 kilometers away, but it is also considered as the Auroville bioregion. That's a very beautiful pond next to Auroville, a village called Kaluparampakum. A very beautiful lotus pond. Yeah, there. So it's very nice to film inside Auroville and to show the people, okay, this type of nice nature and beautiful place are there. So in this film, we picturize. I hope it came out very well. Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some of the photos of the making of it behind the scenes, and the setting in the film looks so beautiful. So I would say you definitely accomplished that.
Yes, yes, yes. The authentic is the red soil, the beauty of the forest and the soil and the nature. All we capturized through when the children's scenes and Indians walking, exploring Mathur Mandir. All scenes you can see the red soil. That's the authentic thing. Even in Ruud Lohman, that red soil and is the old and ancient land that he was mentioned. So we want to picturize that type of land. Aurelio, when he was discussing, he was more keen on, okay, picturize certain nice places, especially for certain old traditional trees. Okay, Srini could picturize that place. And like that, we planned the location in and around Auroville and the villages. And especially the house of Iniyan in a bioregion, we found one nice house, thatched house, a lonely house, which Ruud Lohman has written in the story. So we somehow related certain locations. And through Aurelio's assistant, he found one nice Bodhi tree in one of the bioregion village. Very huge tree. So there we set up a traditional prayer scene there. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. It's really interesting what you're saying too, because when you talk to people who visited Auroville, and I visited once myself, the things that people most remember are what you're saying are featured in the film. There's the red soil, the sounds, which I can hear right now of the birds, the trees. It's those things
Yes.
that sort of sink into your body, and that's what you remember the most. So it's I feel like it will be really incredible for people who have visited Auroville to remember that, and people who haven't to experience that for the first time through the film.
Yes, when they see the film, definitely this feeling will come, because we show the top angle of the forest and the place, as you said, the bird sound and the quietness and the calm, the beauty of the nature, all is been registered, have been captured in the film. Yes, in
What
Auroville's
do
beauty.
you, yeah, what do you hope that people will take away from the film, from watching it this weekend?
It's interesting. Yes, in this film, we show the essence, the Auroville's principles, and it's for human unity and the consciousness, and they can think about to preserve tradition, culture, and when they see the film, they will think about to preserve the nature, and yeah, and then they see about the history, Tamil culture and Auroville's life, and a model international township. People live together as a community. It's so different. If people see that, okay, we are the happiness of living together as a community, and they think about, and they feel about Mathur Mandir, the beauty of the Mathur Mandir. So in this film, beauty, wonder, and discover. So
Mm,
these three areas we traveled. So
mhm.
definitely the people will get a message of preserving nature, and think about the human unity, the value of human unity, and the background of Auroville, the Mathur Mandir, like this. And also we are planning, Aurelio and myself planning to screen this movie to the bioregion schools, to the children.
Wow.
So the children will love it, and they will learn about the importance of nature. And in the film, we show the animals, the birds, all surrounding environmental things, and they think about the peaceful, the way of living and simplicity, the peacefulness, and the importance of meditation. So all these things, good qualities of simple living, will be projected through this film. So
Mm.
definitely people will take a few things from this film. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's wonderful. There's so many different ways to experience Auroville, and I think film is such a brilliant way to do it. So it will be really, really wonderful this weekend, and I think inspiring for so many of us to see it. Do you
Yes.
have a particular favorite part of the film, or if not, maybe a part of the process of filming that you remember very well and that you really enjoyed?
Um, yes, there were several moments during the process of this film. We have been working more than 10 months. We have been, Aurelio and myself, discussing the story, and making to realize, founding the casting and location and shooting, and yeah, many good moments happened while shooting, particularly when we shot in the sea. Before 2 days before, there was heavy rain in Auroville, and then the next 2 days we went and shot the sea scene, and then we picturized in the beginning of the seashore is full of red. In the earlier I mean times, Aurelia was discussing Srini in earlier days. Auroville, when there was rain, all red soil just excavate and eroded, and just joined to the sea, and we see the ocean like red. Now, particularly amazing this day, because we had in Auroville, there were water conservation, there were check dams, there are bunds and the forest, and all water were just saved. But apart from that, that day, from the canyon, the all red thing, just the sea in the front were red color. So when we have a drone shot, we see the beautiful thing, and we captured that also, and it was amazing that moment.
Wow.
And yeah, many occasions the locations it was very favored during the shoot, and the actors, the children were amazing, and the Indian character was very nice. And it took we planned for off day shoot, the good lighting, but when we go to the shoot, it extends. Then we have to go again to the same location, and we have to see the continuity. And then certain part were a little complicated, but it was more enjoyable. And particularly, we shot in Mathur Mandir Garden. It was an amazing space, and there was a nice forest inside, and the bee sound of the forest, and the children were walking. So all this nature, it was something very bliss and very happy when we were shooting with the team. We all enjoyed while shooting. Through the film, we also learned many things about nature and about Auroville concepts and Ruud Lohman's story. So even in the pond, also in the morning, we went a shot, just one shot, and later on, huge rain, and we packed up the camera, and there was a temple. We were waiting, and then the rain stopped. Then we completed the shoot. Um, yeah, it was interesting. Many moments were interesting. Yes, during the shoot.
Um, yeah, that sounds really incredible, the process. Bina is wondering if the film will be shown in Auroville itself. So I know you mentioned the outreach or the schools, but will it be shown in Auroville generally?
Yes. Aurelio, we were discussing to release a film in Auroville, in Cinema Paradiso, or in Bharat Nivas, invite the Auroville community and show and screening this movie. Already this online premiere is really people come to know and asking, hey, we like to watch the movie. We will arrange a show. We will arrange a screening in Auroville. Definitely, and we invite pioneer Orovillians and the crew, and yeah, we can discuss about and we show and we have an interaction with the Oroville community with this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last question I have, and if anyone has any questions who are watching, feel free to put it in the chat. But I think the last question I have, as you mentioned, there was a lot of things that you learned while filming. I'm curious if you could say what the greatest lesson maybe that you learned during the process over the 10 months.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, during this film process, one thing, see, because in the scene, the history, the past is very important for the future generation. So I feel the Indian culture, the Auroville concepts, and Iniyan story, all these things inspired me, and this has to be documented, and this has to be projected to the younger generation. So in this film process, the many things like preserving nature and the history has to be preserved, and it has to be documented and showed to the younger generation. That I feel very proud as I play as a little role to document and to direct this film with Aurelio, and to give a present to the bioregion and Auroville to keep this film as archives, and about Ruud Lohman, the legend, the pioneer who lived in Auroville, and yes, so I learned in many aspects of filmmaking also, when we discuss with the shots, to show the wide angle and to show the beauty, and it was great adventure with the team to crew according to the location, how to change our shots, and take the pictures in a proper way. So from technical side, from film side, from nature side, from Auroville concepts wise, and the legend Iniyans thing, I learned new things. Once I complete this movie, really, I see. From previous movie, somehow I learned if I see this movie, this is the best. I feel compared to other movies. So like that, each film there is evolution. I found myself as a filmmaker. At the same time, I learned the concept, and I learned about Iniyan's background and the short story and Ruud Lohman's skills of writing and about Auroville, certain this type of things I learned.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I lied because I have one more question that I just thought of.
Please.
um, do you see any part of yourself in the Iniyan legend? Is that maybe why you and Aurelio found it so inspiring?
Yes. Aurelio, when he was talking about Aurelio is a pure artistic person, and he's very kind soul and living for human unity, and he's dedicating his life for music, dance, drama, art. So he found this story very interesting because he talks about Tamil culture, he talk about tradition, he talk about past and future, connecting the bridge between both the past and future. So as he narrated the story, I also got inspired because it's talk about ancient culture of Tamil, and Ruud Lohman has written the story about Tamil culture on Auroville, and he's talk about Mathur Mandir. So I got really somehow connected to this content. So I feel it's very important to be documented. So I feel okay. Let's take this project and film it and make a film out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so looking forward to seeing it this weekend alongside everyone else. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, Thank you so much, and I was so excited and
Yay.
with this interview, with this live program. You have asked very nice questions, and it took me to the past, and I was revealing all my past things which happened, even my childhood, because I was brought up in Auroville. Even in my young age, I just travel and around with my friends to Mathur Mandir areas. When it was off constructed, there was a foundation under the Mathur Mandir. During the rainy season, there will be water under the Mathur Mandir. I used to jump in and I swim under the Mathur Mandir those days, and then I see the evolution of Auroville developments and the forest and even for my filming, I was working in Auroville Health Center. And Auroville, in the health center, there was Dr. Asamta, who is my mentor and sponsored my film direction while I was working in Auroville Health Center, made me to be a filmmaker. So Aurelio was supporting, and all these things coming to my mind when you are asking
Oh,
these questions about my father, how he traveled. I was a child traveling in Auroville with him to Mathur Mandir, and so very good memories. And thank you so much for this beautiful interview.
oh,
And
it was so
yes,
lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much for sharing so openly and in depth. It feel like I lived your experience making it, and it's made me so much more excited to see it this weekend. And I would
oh,
assume most people will watching this. So thank you again.
oh. Thank you so much for this wonderful experience and taking initiatives to release an online premiere. I'm so excited on Saturday and even this interview. Very nice, and thanks to Aurelio and thanks to AVI USA team and thanks to all Auroville community, bioregion people. So to give
Yay!
this opportunity.
Oh, I'm so
Thank
looking
you.
forward to it. And just again, if you haven't registered yet, head to aviusa.org/Iniyan, Iniyan, to do so. So I will be seeing you this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, me too. Me too. When Aurelio will be there and he will give more informations. So yeah, then I'll be very happy when he's next to me. So I'm looking for that day on Saturday.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So,
We'll get to hear even more of the
yeah.
background and the
Yes.
experience of
Yeah.
making it. Yeah, through
Yes.
him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He will know more about Ruud Lohman and he will speak more about
Yeah.
it. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
so good to
Yeah.
see you. Okay, see you this
Yes.
weekend, and thanks anyone for tuning in.
Yes.